Welcome to Steel Division 2 on Major Freak. So, it's been a week since I bought the game, and my concept when I watched a single game, I actually don't have the history link for it, but Attack Power Gaming was showcasing um, an interesting game that I found fascinating, and I then bought the game. Well, I bought the game, but hadn't. I played like 6 minutes of it, ducked out, and I had 2 weeks to watch videos and figure out how to play it before jumping in and doing the 2 hour pre-refund demo, right? And obviously, I'm way past. How many hours have I spent on it so far? So I jumped in and I was like, okay, I am terrified of air. I wanted as much anti-air as possible, and yeah, I got a bit crazy with anti-air. I eventually calmed down and stopped panicking. Um, Total 66 hours so far. So 66 man hours of playing this game, and I've gone through. Well, my first attempt was to, hey, where's an American thing? So oh, wait, um, I had an American 1-0. This one, and this is my first deck, and I was like, wow, it doesn't have a lot of anti-air. And I look at all the, wow, that's silly. Anyways, so my second attempt was trying to get a little bit better. Still annoyed about the anti-air. That I love these things, but it was like I only get 4 of them. This is actually quite good, actually, to tell you the truth. Um, for what they have, it's mobile and adequate, so I like it. I had other options, but I went with that because I like those. But then I was like, okay, I'll quickly go through all the German stuff and see if there's a good anti-air. Like it had, like I was a noob back then, and I was like, okay, and I landed on the Sturm because I like their artillery choices and their basically all their support choices were well rounded and excellent. I had every I loved the pack, love the pack. Um, Love the Nashorn, love these, love heavy artillery, love the like this is awesome. I played this for a while. It got some fighters, not a lot, but this heavy fighter is great. They got bombers with heavy loads. They've got really powerful infantry, and look at this. I finally maxed it out. Obviously, not with the numbers that people demand, but yeah, still. And so the concept soon became, will the slot numbers, if I fill this out completely, will the cost to deploy go up? And will the cost to deploy go up if I raise the veterancy? And apparently the answer is no. You just get, this is completely different from your in-game deployment. This is just how many cards you can activate. And the cost for that is just determined by, I mean, you've got four cards, and then you put an extra one, it costs you two, and that's the only consideration. It was completely divorced from veterancy and the cost of in-game deployment and yada yada. So once I got my head around that, then I was like, wait, if veterancy doesn't cost extra when deploying, except when making the deck, but when deploying, you'll have less available. Okay, so less available in game, all right, but you only get a certain amount per minute, and that's determined by this. And I was like, wait, if I need to get in A and B phase the maximum amount of stuff I possibly can, then B phase is when you get a bit more units per, like A phase, you get less. If I made this B phase, I get more, right? And C phase, even more. So it's like, yeah, but if you wait till C phase, you're going to be dead. So it's like, okay, the maximum bang for my buck is in phase B. So I won't go Vanguard. It's recommended that noobs go Maverick and or balanced. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely going with Maverick for the need to get stuff on the field quickly. And then I was like, wait, but if you take lots of everything and you can pick and choose, that's great. But for me, I'm like, if I'm picking stuff in phase A, I want all those phase A troops in play, because otherwise I'm going to get this really diluted sense of my combat power throughout the game, right? That's at least that's my idea as a noob. Um, I can't look at this and go, I know exactly how much I can deploy in phase A because I've played the game so much. I've only had 66 hours in the game. Most of it's staring at this screen. But yeah, I've had a few battles under my belt, and I'm gonna play one right now, and let's see how long it takes me to deploy. And it might take a little bit longer than usual because I've been watching a lot of attack powered gaming tutorials and realizing that Baglettes with their assault rifles need to be on the edge of both. I want them in green cover, but also shooting into light forest, yellow cover, and or enclosed short spaces like towns and stuff where they have the range to the forest is really short. I've got long range here. The Black Grenadiers also have LMGs, so they can engage, and they also have no, that's something else. But yeah, these guys have MP40s, bolt action rifles, and two light machine guns and anti-tank grenades. They're great, but they're definitely long range for everything, and they can take on tanks at 100 meters, which is really close, but they can. The Baglet Pioneers have grenades. The Baglet Grenadiers, they don't have the grenades, so they're exactly the same. Well, a bit less actually. This one has one more MP44, but yeah, the same thing. This one has grenades, so this is an upgunned. 5 more points, you get a grenade. Whee! You don't have many of them, and you only got one choice, and you can fit them in half tracks with a machine gun, and that'll stick around. You have, I think I have 8 of them total. So 1, 2. So I've got the Baglet and that too. 1, 2. That obviously this transport costs 5 extra points per unit that you deploy. So this light blue. So I've got 1, 2, 6, 9. So you have 10 total half tracks, and the Baglets are the only ones that can go into the half tracks. And they've all got assault weapons. Nobody's got MP40s. It's just MP44s. And this, of course, it's a leader. Smoke is great. Smoke for a leader is awesome. It can, it can quickly lay down some smoke if you absolutely need it. If you're next to, say, if anything that's anything, it's great. I love it. So yeah, and the Schutzen long range. So I've got medium range, long range, and I recently I don't like the Sturmpire. I dropped the Sturm Pioneer a while ago because I was like, wait, I'm not using flamers. Why don't I just replace the expensive Sturm Pioneers for flamers? And I did. And then I realized, wait, this is great for defense, but if I'm on the assault, I don't have any CQC, close quarters combat squads. And I'm like, oh my god, I need Sturm Pioneers. They're cheap, they can work. It's going to be great. So they have MP40s, Flame War, and smoke grenades. It's just awesome. So yes, please. And if they need to assault an area that's across open ground, they've got smoke grenades, and then they just charge for the smoke, and then as soon as they're in the smoke, they can see out the other side, and they can take care of the opposition. So great. So my B phase, I decided, was going to be my assault phase, and it is. I'll be going in with Schutzen. I'll be basically pairing these guys up, you know, one for one, going with the Schutzen Führer, and then sending these guys ahead. They'll separate from the Commandant by a little bit, and they'll lose that extra rank. But by giving these guys rank 2, I'll be able to keep that rank 3. Even if I get off the radio chain of command, that gives that extra rank. So yeah, that is the plan. It's fun, and of course, as long as I can establish the chain of command, I can get these guys up to rank 3 through that. I just need my successive leaders to be a kilometer from each other, and then 1,500 from the commandant for the final link in the chain. And yeah, on a short, like Orsha North, completely, you can totally do it. It's great. It was quite eye-opening. It was like, oh my god. So I've got long range, short range, medium range, anti-tank, anti-personnel. It's great. And I've got as many leaders as I can fit on, and I've filled out the entire slot selection for the infantry. Finally got it up to 65 where I'm happy. I can't get any more. People yell at me to have more infantry, but I'm like, my concept is to, and they don't believe it's rational, but yeah, to put all my A cards into A phase and having plus or minus 5 points. Plus 5 points in phase A, and then in phase B, I'll have minus 5 points non-cumulative. So at the end of phase B, I've spent all my points for getting all the cards in, and I have all of A cards in and all of B cards in by the end of B phase. And at the end of A phase, I have all of my A cards in. So I know what I'm getting on the field. It's always the same. I don't mix and match and pick and choose, and this, I'll get that and this, and if the game goes for like 2 hours, I'll get everything on the field. I know exactly what's going on the field in phase A, and it's combined arms. And in phase B, like in phase A, combined arms. Phase B, assault. Got 2 Nashorns. I've got Panzerschrecks for ambushing. I've got the leaders. I just pair them up. I spread these guys out and then pair them up. And I have the Nashorn, and I'll boost the Nashorn, and it'll get veterancy 3 with chain of command. And you got 2 of them. I moved the bow bashers from A to B because yeah, I can get them out there, and I can exploit holes in their flanks if I want to, and I can patch holes in my... Now, I'm not sure if bow bashers can be the link in a chain of command. I'm pretty sure it has to be a leader, but I will definitely try to see if that works. Pretty sure it doesn't, so, but, you know, if I'm able to, I'll put one in and go, hey, does that connect? It most likely won't. I almost guarantee you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it won't because, yeah. One sec, sorry about that. I'm getting a new fridge, so just talking with the landlord. Took, just 6 months. Jesus, eh? All right. So yeah, this is going to be great, and I've dropped the idea of having sturdy recon to draw out their flak so I can blow the flak away. It it's a great idea, but there goes 80 points, and I'm like, that's great and all, but flak is really annoying and tends to be self-propelled, and finding out where the flak is, they're just going to keep moving them. I mean, Attack Power Gaming says have them like spam a waypoint system and do Q for attack move and just keep doing it, and they'll stop to shoot or not, and they'll just do their thing. Even with towed anti-air, you can just, you know, so that's an interesting one and might have me changing. Like, the idea for me is to relocate my AA, and I've got 6 of these, which would mean 6 Jeeps, and I've got 6 light AA, which the Jeeps can tow, and that's why I switched to flak 20 millimeter in phase A instead of 37, because my Jeeps can tow them, and that means I can relocate, which would be great. The only issue is that, do I need to? Is moving my flak via Jeep better on, say, large maps than, say, simply ordering a waypoint system and putting it on Hunt, for all of them? That would take a lot of micromanagement for sure. But yeah, the concept's there. So it's like, what to do, what to do. But yeah, my concept is specialized artillery. Just pound the crap at, like, counter battery. Last game I tested, tested out counter battery and it worked fine. So I'm like, these guys are going counter battery because I hate artillery pounding my positions. I'm just gonna blast them to hell. And if I leave them on counter battery, I won't be tempted to shoot at moving targets or hard targets. They'll just go for counter battery. And if they run out of ammo, I've got in C phase, 20 minutes in, supply trucks. And it's the only supply trucks I've got, but I get 6 of them. So yeah. Yeah, and then once it goes to phase C, I've got extra stugs, extra infantry, anti-infantry, anti-tank capabilities. I've got extra flak because, yeah, sometimes you need it a lot. And I've got extra, of course, artillery, like I said, and bombers. My delete buttons, as Attack Power Gaming says. So I would love to get rid of the flak at some point and be able to exploit the field using, hopefully, these surviving fighter bombers and the bombers to delete targets. But this is my luxury, and I believe I have enough to be able to probe weaknesses, get into the flanks, find the flak, destroy the flak, and then at that point, it doesn't matter what they bring on the field. I can just wipe it out of existence based merely on the fact that I can, roll them up. And that's the concept. And in phase C, I've got, you have, in an hour, you have 3,200 points. Like in phase B, say, the game takes an hour, right? And that's what I expect. Like, if the game takes more than an hour, I'm not going to be able to survive because my brain will be mush and I'm a noob. I'm less than 100 hours play. So, yeah, no. So I calculate for how long do I reasonably expect to go before I'm going, yeah, I'm dead. And that's 40 minutes of phase C. So I go 40 times 80 for Maverick, and that's 3,200, right? So all I have to do is go, okay, well, let's not get crazy with the points here, right? I want to be able to field all my C cards before the end of the hour. That's basically the concept. So I've got 300 points of Pioneer. I've got 540 of Schutzen. I've got 720 of tanks. I've got 480 of AA. I've got 660 of more arty with supply. Hopefully I press the memory plus button. And $540 of bombers. And that brings the total to 3,240. That's close enough for government work. And I'm super happy with that. Objectively, I've got +5 surplus here, -5 surplus here, and 40 deficit here. Okay, so it takes me 61 minutes to get everything in play. Boo-hoo, Crimea River. But yeah, that's basically my concept of being able to field everything in the time frame I've set without going, I'm gonna have no rank everything and spam the field. It's just, for me, it's just, it doesn't help me learn anything. It goes, I'm going to take a selection and just wing it. And it's like, why the hell would you want to do that? Like, maybe if you're really good, you could totally wing it. But for me, if I start winging it, I'm going to forget to bring on some stuff. I'm going to forget to bring on MG42s. I'm going to forget to place flammable warfers. I'm going to forget to place close range stuff to take out light AT. I'll forget. Like, I love packs. I wish I had more of them, but I'd love to spam the field with them, but... And what if one gets taken out, right? But at the same time, if I'm careful and I place them properly, they won't get picked off easily. And if I follow them back when they're getting shot at, they'll survive, hopefully. They have... How many men? They have 7 men. So the idea is to keep them alive and not poke them out too far from the forest. Have these guys, because, you know, some places it's tight and you're going to be really close and you're going to have fast moving jeeps or stuff, and you want to take them out, but your infantry are too far away. Your pounder Fausts only have 250 range, and this has half the range of the IG-18. It's only got 750 range, but in tight quarters, especially in some of the corners of Orsha North, you don't need more than 750 range. So there's that. Panzerschrecks only have 250 range, like I mentioned, so that they're close range ambush. I got really excited about them for a while, but then I realized, wait, they can't shoot a click out. The Flax, like I said, I love the idea of towing stuff around with jeeps. It's just so much fun, but I'm fairly sure that having 3 37 millimeters is much better. But on the other hand, I like the idea of dispersing my flak. If I can disperse my flak, that'll be great. I don't expect, like, I try not to lose any unit. I'm very careful and plotting, and losing a unit with this few, can't spam it, so I've got to be really careful. I'm going to try to minimize my losses, husband my resources, and see if it works. I might have to go with self-propelled. I mean, I have the ability to go self-propelled. And in Phase A, for the same amount of points, I could have 2 self-propelled. Right? I mean, why the hell wouldn't I? They've got they've got the ability that they have the same range as the light. Their 20 millimeter is the same, but they've got four of them. Um, and I would love to have this. I really would. Let me get the proper comparison here. So yeah, the same range, same accuracy, same blast, same uh, four times the suppression. One for only twice the damage, but four times the suppression, and you want that to scare off the planes, right? And I could easily set waypoints for them to just trundle around the field, and so they can avoid a fire, right? Uh, yeah. So it's a thought. I just love the idea. Like, what I want to do is, yeah, it's a lot of points. Like right here, that's a lot of points, and with 40 points, I can put a couple on field in the initial rush, and that would be awesome. Just to be able to scare the bejesus out of people, realizing that, oh crap, he's got flak on field. And if I can gank recon um, plane, that'd be awesome. Keep their planes honest, right? But yeah, I don't know. It's amazing what you can do with, like, when you realize, wait, that's 240, that's two self-propelled in phase A. Is it worth, you know? And this is three flak 43s in phase A. So it's like, yes, I can tow them. Is it going to be a worthwhile thing? Which I'll have to experiment on larger maps for sure. But the ability to relocate um, using a road speed of 80, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because I haven't played on a large map yet, just Orsha North, small map, and I want to take advantage of towing. And I've got what I had. I've got 789 Biglet half tracks that I can go back and tow my artillery around, plus their battery Fuhrers. You know, it's kind of expensive to place a battery Fuhrer into one of them, but I can do it. Um, and yeah, that would be absolutely awesome, to be able on large maps to go, yeah, they really start to figure out where my stuff is, and they're just constantly shooting at these spots, or, they know where my stuff is. Can I quickly move shop into alternate positions quickly ish? I mean, faster than going by foot, right? And it goes 53. So that's pretty damn good. Way faster than you can walk. So that's the concept, and I'm fairly sure the concept is fundamentally flawed for both trying to get all the A cards in phase A and all the B cards in phase B, and having all the C cards coming in under an hour. I think that's untenable, especially, I'll bet, in multiplayer. Like, I'm just about to watch the current finals for season 9 of the of the tournaments, right? Against two really good players, and it just blows me away how many units are on the field and die and get replaced and die and get replaced. Rinse, lather, repeat. So that's fundamentally flawed. Along with, I'm pretty sure, trying to micro relocating using jeeps and getting jeeps back and moving the jeeps for and getting the half tracks back and making sure they don't die and blah 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 blah. And that's a lot of micro. And at full speed, I guarantee you I wouldn't be able to do it. I might be able to if I got really good at it and I practice it a lot. I might be able to pull it off, but not in under 100 hours. This is, I mean, I got really good at some stuff in Eve, but I've been playing the game for 20 years. I know some noobs can be better than me in certain aspects in, say, 6 months. But for me, I take my time. I like mining, static. It's going to be hard for me to have a fluid battlefield and react to changing circumstances. What if I lose one of my packs? When I have lost one of my packs, it's devastating. The enemy suddenly has, they're not facing AT in this sector, and it just is just whoa. It's kind of scary. And I'll keep testing this, and I like to test it on a random allied army, just totally random. Just go for it and see what happens on Orsha North, and keep practicing on Orsha North. And when I'm happy with this concept, and I haven't, like, say in a week I hadn't adjusted it and I'm really happy with it, I'm really practiced with it, I'll go, okay, let's try another map. And I'll hopefully Attack Power Gaming has some videos about maps, and I want to see if I can find a map that I want to try that's large. That'll give me a sense of, is this even viable on a large map? Like, infantry, apparently not. Heavy, especially very expensive infantry, probably not. But I'd like to try it. But I'm not there yet. I want to take my time, make sure that this relocating thing is even a thing, that I can do it, and I can get my guys out alive and back to my artillery. And then eventually, a week from now, I'll try it on a large map and see if it's even worth relocating. The concept is fun. I mean, I have all these transports, and I've got 6 transports to help transport stuff. Like, these will transport themselves. So I've got 6. I've got 9 half tracks. There's 2 battery Fuhrers. So I've got 6, 7, 8 items to move. I can afford to lose one of the half tracks. I'd rather not. But I can do them that way. And maybe I can use one of the half tracks, if they all survive, to move the commandant, right? And I've got the 6 jeeps to move the 6 light flak around. So yeah, and by phase C, hopefully I know where to place them. So, but I don't have any self-propelled, which is probably an issue. But for now, I want to practice this idea of being able to, relocate, because I'm an infantry heavy division and it's going to be difficult. So, without further ado, better save it just in case screwed up. Yeah, quickly go through the look at all this stuff. Quickly go through the iterations. I'll mute the mic and just wait a second and then go forward one step so you can get an idea. I won't give any commentary. It just slows it down, and I just want to move on to deploying my troops, see how long it takes me to deploy, and then play battle. So that'll be I'll do a debrief afterwards, and that'll be a third video. So let's go through this evolution here. Yeah, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Okay, starting from the top. All right, thanks for watching. I'll eventually want to make a script so I can go through the changes and walk myself through what, was I'd like to actually calculate the points, see if I was points neutral. Early on, I wasn't, and I still didn't get the math around the phases and, the issue. Yeah, so the math sucked for the first bit, but for the last half a dozen, I'm pretty sure I got really close. And this one is points neutral by the end of phase B. I'm really proud of that. So yeah, I'm sure it's completely irrational way of, an irrational way of playing the game, but and plus it's probably totally irrational to think I can actually micro the transportation around. But that's what I'm going with. It's my little special snowflake or unicorn, and yeah, I'm gonna ride that thing till it dies horribly on the battlefield of reality, pixelated reality. So um, next video will be me deploying and then playing, and hopefully it won't take me more than 7 minutes to deploy. I'm trying to get that to 7 minutes, just practicing that, because you don't want to, if I ever go into multiplayer, I want to be practicing enough so I can deploy quickly and not irritate somebody who's probably going to wipe me out in 10 minutes, right? All right, and there we go. Thank you so much for watching.